As Donald Trump gets ready for the inauguration, we are live in Washington talking to Trump supporter Peter King, Long Island's own. We're also looking at the crowds and the protests converging on Capitol Hill. Then we speak with Cokie Roberts from ABC News about what to expect from Trump's address tomorrow, and also his very testy relationship when it comes to the press. Also, Donald Trump promised to drain the swamp, but is he really filling his cabinet with the type of insiders and lobbyists that he promised to root out? Good evening, everybody, and welcome to RFL. I'm Richard French. Thank you so much for joining us on what has been a very busy Thursday night. Well, less than 24 hours from now, Donald Trump, he will be President Trump, period, exclamation point. Right now, the inaugural concert, it is going on at the Lincoln Memorial. As we speak, the Capitol getting ready for the big day tomorrow. You see Toby Keith there live in D.C. The president-elect arriving in Washington, D.C., going straight to a leadership luncheon at his own Trump International Hotel.
I want to thank everybody. We've had such great support.
The inauguration events then officially beginning. Donald Trump, alongside Vice President-elect Mike Pence, laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery. The solemn tradition followed by the start of the celebrations with a Make America Great Again concert at the Lincoln Memorial. Now just hours from becoming America's 45th president, when he takes the oath of office here outside of the Capitol, Trump is said to be finalizing his inaugural speech.
It's going to be a very personal and sincere statement about his vision for the country.
Trump tweeting today, "The journey begins," as this tweet from the First Lady Michelle Obama shares her gratitude and reflection as President Barack Obama spends his last full day in office. So now let's go live to Fios One's Kevin Vesey. He is on Capitol Hill, and he just spoke with Peter King, the congressman out of Long Island. Kevin?
Well, Richard, if you think back to the primaries, you probably remember that Congressman Peter King wasn't the biggest Donald Trump supporter. Of course, that changed when it became obvious that Donald Trump was going to be the Republican nominee for president. We spoke with him today about a lot of topics, one of them being the executive orders that Donald Trump has promised to make, even though Republicans have criticized President Barack Obama for doing the exact same thing, even going as far as calling Obama an imperial president. So we asked Peter King, why is it okay for Donald Trump to give executive orders, but not okay for Barack Obama? Take a listen to what he had to say about that. What's your reaction to about 30 of your colleagues in the House not coming to the inauguration, including Jerry Nadler from New York?
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. To me, an inauguration is when we come together as Americans. It's not Republican, it's not Democrat. I would have been proud to be at Hillary Clinton's inauguration if she had won. I certainly was at both of Barack Obama's, both of Bill Clinton's, and in each of those cases I supported their opponents very strongly. So, no, this is wrong. And as far as I recall, the first time we've had like such a large number of people boycotting. I'm not aware of anybody boycotting President Obama or President Clinton. There may have been one or two somewhere, but I certainly didn't hear about it. I think it's wrong. It's a very dangerous precedent to set.
You made a comparison to the Civil War era. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I mean, democracy and a republic, for it to stand together, we have to have certain traditions that bind us. And one of the strongest is that when an election is over, we come together and recognize the legitimacy of the president. And really, I think the last time that wasn't done was when the secessionists wouldn't recognize Abraham Lincoln as having power over the entire country. Now, I know it's a bit of a stretch, but I'm just trying to make the analogy is there that it's very dangerous, I believe, to set a precedent where we're going to in any way question the legitimacy of the president of the United States because we don't agree with his policies.
All right. So Trump has promised to come into office and do a litany of executive orders. Republicans have been calling Obama an imperial president for 8 years due to his usage of executive orders. So why is it okay for Trump to use them?
My understanding is most of his executive orders will be rescinding President Obama's executive orders. So he will do them appropriately. Where executive orders are wrong under President Obama is where he was issuing executive orders where he should have gone for legislation.
And we've heard Trump criticize U.S. intel, you being on the Homeland Security Committee and the chairman of the subcommittee on counterterrorism and intelligence. How does this concern you?
Well, I think his main criticism, and in some ways it's legitimate, is if certain people in the intelligence community, 99.9% of them are outstanding Americans, but there was information leaked out, certainly over the last month, which should not have been leaked. It was done the wrong way, and to me, it politicized the intelligence community. But when we have Mike Pompeo as head of the CIA, when we have a new head of the Director of National Intelligence, Dan Coates, the former senator from Indiana, you're going to see Donald Trump will be standing 100% with the intelligence community.
So right now, Trump's coming into office with a very low approval rating. Why are you so optimistic when others are not?
Well, Donald Trump has been underestimated from the start. I believe that when people see, starting with the inauguration and going forward, when they start seeing results, then you're going to see his approval rating going up accordingly.
And are there any cabinet nominees that you're concerned about?
First, I support them all, and I'm hoping that they all make it through.
With President Trump coming into office tomorrow, what are you hoping that he brings to your district and the tri-state area?
Well, the most important thing is he provides security. Homeland security is the major issue involving New York City, Long Island, Westchester, Rockland. We are the #1 target in the world for ISIS and Al-Qaeda. So to make sure we have significant homeland security. Also jobs. It's very important that the economy get going, and I believe that by reducing some of the regulations, some of the red tape, and also by changes in the tax code, that we will see a surge in jobs, and that's especially important to Long Island.
So there you have it. Congressman King saying he's not one bit concerned about any of Donald Trump's cabinet nominees. And I'll tell you what, Richard, what I thought was really interesting about that interview was when Congressman King compared the 30 or so House Democrats who said they were not going to attend Trump's inauguration to Southerners during the Civil War era, drawing that comparison. I thought that was pretty interesting. We're here in Washington, D.C. Kevin VC, Fios 1 News. Richard, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Stay warm. And the number, in fact, over 60 Democrats all in that will not be at the inauguration tomorrow. And by the way, Kevin, he'll be in D.C. all day and all night tomorrow for the festivities that take place, both the swearing in and then the parade, the balls, and everything else that is encompassed with that, as will Kim Wallace. And Kim Wallace joins us now. Kim?
That's right, Rich. I will be here along with an estimated 800,000 to 900,000 people that are expected to descend on our nation's capital. We spoke to some of the excited visitors visiting the Capitol the day before here, many from all over the country, including our tri-state area, to witness history here for the 45th president being sworn in right outside the Capitol.
We have been excited since 2 minutes after the election back in November, and we knew then that we were coming to Washington to see the inauguration.
You've been planning to come here for months.
Yes.
For someone's history here, I'm just in awe. I'm just awestruck.
History and less than 24 hours away from making even more history.
Yes, Trump! Trump, baby. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I know the rest of the country's got to be happy too.
You're in the parade tomorrow. Can you tell me, are you excited for that?
I'm very excited. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it.
I'm excited to be here. All three of us are veterans. We've served active duty, different conflicts, and so yeah, it's important to us to be here.
And tomorrow, in less than 18 hours, right behind me at the Capitol building here, the president-elect will become the president of the United States. And Rich, as you said, we will be here covering it, so make sure to stay tuned. For now, that's the latest for RFL. We're live in Washington, D.C. Kimberly Wallace, back to you, Rich.
Thank you very much, Kimberly. And again, our coverage, we're going to be there throughout the night, obviously tonight, tomorrow morning, and we'll have full coverage also wall-to-wall beginning at 10:30 in the run-up to the inauguration. But let's go back to the Capitol here. President-elect live now at the Lincoln Memorial. Let's take a listen.
In front of the Lincoln Memorial. I don't know if it's ever been done before, but if it has, very seldom. And the people came by the thousands and thousands, and here we are tonight, all the way back. All the way back. So it's a movement that began, it's a movement that started, and it's a movement like we've never seen anywhere in the world, they say. There's never been a movement like this, and it's something very, very special. And we're going to unify our country. And our phrase, you all know it, half of you are wearing the hat, make America great again. But we're going to make America great for all of our people, everybody throughout our country. That includes the inner cities, that includes everybody. And we're going to do a special job. And I can only tell you that 18 months ago, we never knew. A lot of people didn't know. Some people had a feeling. A lot of people didn't give us much of a chance, but we understood what was happening. And that last month of the campaign, when I traveled around to every place that you can imagine, state after state after state, speech after speech, and we had 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people. There was never an empty seat, just like tonight. We didn't know if anybody would even come tonight. This hasn't been done before. And you look, it was the same way. And we all knew that last month of the campaign. I think a lot of us knew the first week of the campaign. But that last month of the campaign, we knew that something special was happening. And I can only tell you this. The polls started going up, 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 but they didn't want to give us credit because they forgot about a lot of us. On the campaign, I called it the forgotten man and the forgotten woman. Well, you're not forgotten anymore, that I can tell you. Not forgotten anymore. So I want to thank my great family, my incredible wife, Melania. They've been so supportive, and it wasn't easy for them, but they have been so supportive. I want to thank you most importantly, and I promise you that I will work so hard. We're going to get it turned around. We're going to bring our jobs back. We're not going to let other countries take our jobs any longer. We're going to build up our great military. We're going to build it up. We're going to strengthen our borders. We're going to do things that haven't been done for our country for many, many decades. It's going to change. I promise you, it's going to change. So I'll see you tomorrow. And I don't care, frankly, if it's going to be beautiful or if it's going to rain like crazy. Makes no difference to me. I have a feeling it's going to be beautiful. But I will see you tomorrow, and I'm going to be cheering you on. You're going to cheer me on, but I'm going to be cheering you on because what we've done is so special. All over the world, they're talking about it, all over the world. And I love you folks, and we're going to work together, and we are going to make America great again, and I'll add, greater than ever before. Thank you very much, and enjoy the fireworks. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, some important notes here. I don't want to get this wrong. It's going to be very, very great, not just great. And not just some of people, but every single person will do great. And even if it rains, he'll still be there tomorrow. So that much, take it to the bank. I'm telling you one thing, he is not tamping down expectations. The president-elect ready for tomorrow, and certainly interesting referencing the polls as to how well he was doing and no one took him seriously. Maybe that's true, but now polls telling a little bit of a different story in terms of the optimism of what the next 4 years will hold, let alone his readiness for the job. We'll talk about that later with our panel. But as a reminder, tomorrow it is real. We will be covering this all 10:30 in the morning. We'll be here. We'll be following it all day long. The transfer of power, the speech, the parade. We are on it, obviously, even the balls into the late evening as well. Now, if you're going down to D.C., and we know some are leaving early in the morning, please be part of this program. We'd love to hear from you. Send us your videos, what you're hoping to hear, what you're hoping to see for the next 4 years on the screen, showing you how to submit them for New Jersey, Hudson Valley, Long Island. We really want to get your input. All right, coming up next, I sit down with Cokie Roberts on Trump's feud with the press, what we might hear from him tomorrow on the inauguration address, and much more. Stay with us. Cokie and I, straight ahead.